My first impressions of Hong Kong was just unreal, amazing. Best place I've ever seen, best place I've ever visited. I'd say to anybody there wanting to go a bit of travelling, go and check Hong Kong out. It's amazing. I don't think people know, they're still no grasping how good Hong Kong actually is, and I'm trying to explain it to them. It's just good because everybody's just laid back. Nobody cares what you're up to. Everybody's just got their own life and they're just getting on with their own life. Nobody's ever involved with what's happening here or there. Everybody's just getting about their own way. So the temples, the people, the culture in general, even the food for me, as being a pescatarian, was lovely. The restaurants, I loved how there's like a shopping centre in every hotel. I think that's just ridiculous. How you can just walk to the city centre, which is 20 minutes away, and not get hit with any rain because everything's sheltered or tunnelled. Stuff like that's just so easy. Everything's so accessible. Super. This is the life. Seeing places. Winning races. That's just nuts, isn't it? We're in Hong Kong. It's actually nuts. But I can't believe we're just in Hong Kong. Just for HYROX. It's crazy. That just shows you how much this sport has grown, even since I begun. I started HYROX just over 2 years ago, and for the first one in Manchester to here in Hong Kong, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. So travelling as an athlete in general is amazing because you've been given these opportunities to see parts of the world that you probably wouldn't even see if you were just getting about your own life, and I wasn't pursuing HYROX to this level. So this time for me, I tried to focus on enjoying being somewhere and getting to actually see it and take it in and embrace the culture, embrace the full fact of being at the other side of the world, but also knowing that the job has to be done. You have to be there to get to the next stage. So that was the focus for me, bit of both, and that worked well. Whereas usually I'm just all about just go, get the job done, don't worry about anything else, but now I'm opening my mind up to going, no, I want to see places, embrace everything, and I think that's an all-rounder for me. I just see over the last year, right? This is gonna get serious here, but see over the last year, something just came over me where I'm just nah, I need to love life. I need to embrace every single moment, rather than just go places and just focus on HYROX. I love HYROX and it's changed my life, but I love seeing other places. I love going to other places with people that I'm close with. I like to spend time with my loved ones and stuff like that, like you, Dan. No, but you know what I mean. You want to spend time with people and actually embrace it, enjoy it, rather than just being nah, I'm an athlete and that's it. And I think that works better for me. I think when it comes to being an athlete at a high level, it's good to take everything in as a whole, because I think if you're so on one thing, then it's good and it's bad. But for me, I think you need to find what works for you. But for me, I've found that actually having everything as a whole works well for me. The game plan tonight, we'll go train quickly, get us on a steam room, and then hopefully that'll kind of rev us up so we're in the same sort of condition as we were back home. I actually just start before I came. I just think about if you arrive after every single flight, I've just got it in my head that you need to go and train. Within 2 to 4 hours of landing, I would always recommend to go and train. When I arrived in the hotel, if I arrive in any hotel, then or anywhere, and it's not got the best equipment or the best gym or whatever, there's always something to create the same stimulus. That's all you're looking for. You're not trying to kill yourself, you're just trying to create stimulus so your body knows what's about to happen in the next day or 2 to 3 days, whenever it is. So I always just think I need some form of hinge, I need some form of push, I need to get my body moving, I need to get the blood flowing, and I just keep it basic like that. I don't really need that much intensity. I'm ready to go, I keep saying it, but you're basically just trying to keep everything firing, all cylinders firing. So ideally I'm just trying to get my body moving in the plane of motion that I'm going to be using, but you also want to recruit more muscle fibres. So see, when you're using plyometric work or heavy stuff, probably 4 days out is 3-4 days out is peak point, but you need to be careful, because if you go too heavy or do too many sets, then you'll be too sore. But I'll monitor it as I go, so it'll probably just be, if I put down 3 sets, I'll not get caught up in hitting 3 sets. I'll go 2 sets, I'll maybe even go 1 set, but I'll see how I feel. The run section is going to be 400 metres at 5% gradient, 30 seconds rest, another 400 metres at 0% gradient, but then you increase the pace, so you're moving a bit faster. You're roughly going to be anywhere between like 30 to 45 seconds faster from the 400 metres that you started off with at 5% gradient, and then we're going to blast out 200 metres at 3-minute pace. Praying to God that the treadmills go that fast.
Nigga, all we know is
yesterday I got a call like from my dog like 101. Said they killed his only son because of insufficient funds. He was sobbing, he was mobbing, way belligerent and drunk, talking out insane, philosophing on what the Lord had done. He said, "Kid, can you pray for me? It's been a fucked up day for me. I know that you anointed, show me how to overcome." He was looking for some closure, hoping I can bring him closer to the spiritual. My spirit do no better, but I told him I can't sugarcoat the answer for you. This is how I feel. If somebody kill my son, that means somebody getting killed. Tell me what you do for love, loyalty and passion of all the memories collected, moments you can never touch. I went in front of niggas spot and watch him hit his block. I catch a nigga laughing. Matter of fact, I'm about to speak at this convention, call you back.
That's good. Very good. There's some good paces, so that's all I kind of need to know. Don't even what's hitting that, I'm soaking. But I ended up doing that workout, so the 400 at incline, then the next 400 flat and a K, and then 200 fast. Done 4 sets of that, and then done 3 500s at 3:05, 40 seconds break. So it's good. Actually feels so much better. See, after you get that in, it feels so much better. When I was downstairs, it was like on the rower. After every single fight, it's always the same. You just need to get moving, you feel horrible. That's why you need to get like 2 to 3 workouts in before you race. If you're travelling like far abroad. Even when I travel like a couple hours, I like to just get in something, even if it's just like 1 session before you race, just to get your body moving. That's good though. I've made a kind of makeshift sled pull for the first part of the motion. Really, you're just trying to get as much power as possible and then drive it up, lean forward and then drive it up. Just made it with the cables because obviously we don't have a sled pull. It's not always going to be ideal everywhere you go that it's going to have a sled pull. So 4 or 5 days out, it's good to kind of get a feel for the movements that you're going to be using. So I've managed to make this up. Seen it before, to be honest, but I've never had a heavy enough rack for it. This rack seems quite heavy. Here, drive. I think like, my biggest tips for anybody who's travelling is you need to train. See, if you travel, ideally you need to train as soon as you arrive. If you're arriving early hours in the morning, obviously prioritise sleep, and then when you wake up, go and train, get your food, go train. That's my biggest thing. I actually feel good. I feel like, I don't feel as if we've got jet lag. I feel like we've bet the jet lag.
I've been saying that all day.
I know. We talking about it, we've been here for 2 days. How many milligrams of caffeine have I had? Well, it's 20 to 12 in the day, as you can see. No, it's 20 to 12 and I've had 3 coffees, a Monster, fucking hate drinking them as well. And now I'm going to take a shot of pre-workout. My protein's finest. Cheers. Fuck. Too many. So the time shifter app, I don't think many people kind of knew what I was doing or if it worked. I didn't even know if it worked, but by using this app, it tells you exactly how you should go about your day by drinking coffee, getting natural sunlight or getting any light, and then when to sleep, when to get darkness. It basically bundles that up and makes it so simple, like from this time get sleep, from this time nap, from this time drink coffee, blah blah blah. But by using that app, I literally landed in Hong Kong, both of us landed in Hong Kong, and we just adapted to our own like bedtime hours here. So it started off, I think, the Wednesday before we left, so it was almost a week out. Maybe was it a week out? And then I started like going to bed a bit earlier, stopped drinking coffee at certain times, but when it came to the actual flight, it said for 7 hours or 7.5 hours, don't get any light whatsoever. But it also said don't sleep, which is weird, I thought. So I just dunked over, I think it was my jacket or my hoodie, put it over my head and just kept it over my head for 7.5 hours. I've not told anybody that. I don't think I've told anybody. Like, they'll see it when they see this, but I don't even think I've mentioned it. See, when I think about it, I think like, it's 7 hours sitting there. It's quite long. I was probably just thinking about the race. I don't remember specifically, but I was probably just thinking about HYROX. Every so often when I think about HYROX, right, when I'm on a plane travelling, I look at my heart rate and it's like over 100 beats per minute. Just thinking about it. But see, if you want something, you just need to do it. Yeah. Being in Hong Kong, just in general, like, it's just like a good feeling just to go and see somewhere else in the world, innit? Like, it's like just seeing, it's hard to explain, really. It is hard to explain because I don't think people really get it, because, like, as you say, it's like you're literally walking down the street, you're on a main road, then you turn to your left, and then there's a temple. And then, like, then you go straight on a bit further, maybe 5 minutes, then you're in the middle of a shopping centre. Like, it's just like, it's organised, like, chaos, but it works really, really well and efficiently. I never thought I'd see myself in Hong Kong. I never really thought about it, and like, it was one of the places I thought, oh, if it comes sort of thing, which it did, but I never really thought I would go and visit. But now I'd be back. I'll be back. I'm looking at Japan. This is what I see these places. I never liked travelling before. I never liked flying. I think like you've got to take that in, as I said at the start. You've got to take everything, embrace everything. You've got to enjoy it. If you don't, then you're just being too strict. And at the end of the day, what I always think is you're going to die. So just enjoy it. Not to get too serious, but it's what is happening. And that's made me, like, over the last year, I've thought about it seriously, but I've always thought about that, but I've never really truly thought about it, like deep down, and thought, fuck, this is going to happen to me. And I think it's switched up in my mind. And now I can take it on board and start to embrace things, enjoy things a bit more, be in the moment. I don't know if it's just me, but like, see when you go in somewhere like that, like somewhere holy or like a temple, like where we were in Hong Kong, like you feel different. Something feels different, as if another feeling comes over you, and you feel like you start to be that. So being in there, I was like, this is right. Like everything just felt right. In the lead up to that race, everything just felt right. Like the full thing, I had no wanting to go, but my gut was saying go, and then getting there, it just felt right, like how happy me and you were when we were there. And then visiting the temple, being inside the temple, lighting the candles, like embracing their culture, like that's stuff I want to like try more of. So, because it's life, it's too short, we need to embrace other people's cultures as well. You know, I said a prayer, but it was mostly to be happy regardless of the outcome. That was my main prayer. And I snuck in, just let me qualify. So we're headed off to the venue. This is actually the first day we're visiting the venue. When you're in the like 15, that's what the day, like you'll take you in and they'll explain like this is the drug use, like banned substances, what you can take, what you can't take, sort of thing. Like when it comes to your supplements, and then you pick up your kit. And then you do another bit, and it's for HYROX and like for the APAC team and stuff like that. That's like the Asian team for HYROX, and I feel like the same as every other time. It's just you kind of get like a bit of nerves in your belly the first time you're approaching the venue, but I suppose you're kind of getting used to it as well. So as soon as you go there, you know you know what's happening. Like, you've done it that many times now, you kind of just, it's just another day. I feel pretty good about the race. Like, I feel like I've got a very good shot at this. I think if you can come top 6 in this, you've got a chance at hitting podium. And I believe that I can be top 6 at least. So I was talking to you about this. Like, the game plan usually is go it a bit hard for the ski, but this time I think I'm going to hold back slightly. Just because it is quite humid here, and I don't really want the same thing happening to me what happened in Nice, where I just overcooked it before I even got to the sled pull. I think if I can just maintain like a 1:45 average pace in the ski, I'll be happy. A 1:45 to a 1:47, I'll be happy with that, and then I'll slowly start to come into the race, just based on how it's feeling here. So each station I will approach differently for how fast I run in to how fast I leave that station. So for example, the first run's always pretty fast, even though it looks like some of the guys in the back, they won't be that fast. They're still moving pretty quick. So you're really hitting that first one, you're getting in there fast. Then you're trying to come out the ski fast as well, because you get the first full hype of the race, and then you settle into your run. The sled push, I'll slightly pull back, but not by much. The sled pull, I'll just approach it a little bit faster than I would the sled push, just because I feel like everything's kind of forward motion in HYROX, and then that's one of the only ones that's like back that and row. So I don't know, I just feel like I've got a stronger back and a stronger pull and stuff like that, so I can approach that fast. And then with the burpees, like it's calculated, because just like you can be so exhausted by the time you get to burpees as well. So you want to go in, make sure you're maintaining like a consistent reps over time, rather than going in gassing for 20 metres, 30 metres, and then I think that is a big mistake. People are just like, they will gas too fast. Even me, I make it myself as well. Like, I'll still probably make it in some races. Hopefully it won't be this race, as you're really always going to feel like some form of nerves. But what I usually do is like focus on the race. Like, see what I was doing back in the hotel and I was running like rings around HYROX and clicking it through my watch. Like, you've got to be that focused on the race. Hotel HYROX? What's that? Oh, right. I think that's important. So basically, before every HYROX, I always run it through in my head, but like visually, and I'd actually run through it in my hotel room. I think that's just as important as getting your 5k shakeout that you do. I think that is probably just as important as getting your 5k shakeout run before your race. This is what I do before every race. And it gets a good laugh of this, but I do it just mentally. Just imagine the pace, sled push. Oh, it's a heavy sled today. It's a small one. Sled pull. I can't do that now. Minimum 330s. Burpees. Getting your breath back. Rocks on. Come on. Lunges. Grab the bag. Pop it. Finishing strong. 100 reps. Unbroken. Let's go. Last one. Run right past the finish line. So like done. Boom! Secured world spot. And that was 4.5 minutes. I wish. You look like a lunatic, but anybody that's doing well, they are a lunatic usually, or they're doing something that's a bit like that. What's he doing? Mentally prepares me. By doing that mentally like allows me to focus.
So I'm a little bit scared of Graham at the end of a race, because he's the only person that has been behind me when I get to the rower and has ended up beating me at the end. No one else has done that by going unbroken on the wall balls, but just faster than me.
Oh, my reputation, the wall ball king. See, when it comes to the wall balls, that's like the best part of my race, because I know I can go in there no matter how fatigued, how tired I am. I'll be fast. I'll probably never be slower than a 3:45, no matter how gassed I am. I'd be surprised if I hit slower than 3:45. If I can just keep the rest of my race tidy and go in there within 20 to 30 seconds against most of the top 15, then I'm quite confident I can beat most of them in that section and overtake them. So see, when people are telling me that they're looking over their shoulder and they're looking for me if I'm close to them in the wall balls, like I just love that.
I want to be that guy scary in the wall balls to finish the race. I want people to go, oh shit, because then see mentally, I'm breaking them down. As much as I love half the guys at a race, but I still want to win. I still want to beat them, and I just love the fact that I'm getting in their mind. That's when you know you can beat somebody. It's good. I love it. So just travelling, meeting the boys, and even like the girls and that. It's a good experience, isn't it? You're meeting up with the other athletes from all around the world, getting to meet new people, and then you're in Hong Kong with these people running 5Ks before your race. It's just stuff you never thought you would actually do. So we're just heading out a shakeout run, probably 5Ks, and we're going to do the last K. Will be about race pace effort, roughly between like 3:25 to 3:35. Praying to the gods that it's going to be race pace effort.
Optimistic race pace.
But we're going to go hard for the last K, just to get a bit of speed in the legs. So somebody told me I'd be running a 5K with like people that I was looking at and watching and stuff like that just before Hong Kong. You'd always think they're lying, wouldn't you? You'd always be like, I'm not really like look up to much people, but I respect a lot of people, and like you just never think you'd be there like running with these top end athletes at the other side of the world. Oh, see, like anything that I'm chatting about, this is stuff that I want to share with everybody, because at the end of the day, when you get to a certain level, you realise that everybody is was just a nobody until they made a name for themselves. That's all it is. Everybody's the same. So if you're willing to put in the work, you'll get the returns. Achieving greatness, been flying out to Hong Kong, racing in Elite 15, that's achievable for anybody who wants to put the work in. My pre-race rituals, obviously good sleep is a must, good fuel, but tea, a nice tea, that's it now. I just like a nice tea before a race. It came about because of Dan, the cameraman. He's into samurais and stuff like that, right? I'm not really, but I'm kind of half there. So when we have this tea, it's like we feel like samurais. So we're ready to go, we're ready to go into battle. So when I'm having that tea, I know this is getting close to the time when I'm about to race, because I'll leave it until then. I won't have that tea until it's time to go. It just gives me a sense of focus as well. And I'm like, right, come on. It's like sometimes you need a trigger, and that's like a trigger for me, having that tea now. The sense of clarity that gave me, just to go, right, we're racing, get in the zone.
Halliday, and this is the man who runs a 3:25 within HYROX and says to himself, I need to come down to 3:20 to be competitive, so I kept working on my run.
So there was a thing that I seen on social media, and I tried to black it out because it was an app. No slating the app, I think it's actually a very good app. Things can be wrong, right? And I had to make myself believe this, because I seen this right before the race, which kind of gave a negative tone. So I had to like mentally dig deep to find a bit of positivity again. It said my chances of qualifying were like 1 to 3% maybe. So it was very, very low. Very, very, very low. It ran the predictions 100,000 times. So every time it ran the predictions, it gave that average. And it wasn't good. Wasn't good for my mental side of things going into that race. I just think everybody has a good and bad race, so I was like, nah, you're going to just have a good race. Just focus on having a good race. Focus on it. And I just kept imagining having a good race, how I'm going to feel on the ski, how I'm going to feel in every station, where I'm going to be in the ski. It turns out I was 13th on the ski, and I was like, this wasn't where it was supposed to be. Used to it now, but there is, like, everybody's edgy. Every athlete, no matter how high you are, how good you are, every athlete's a bit sketchy. Like, we all know we need to try and qualify here. Who's going out hot, who's doing this, who's doing that, but you just need to find a sense of focus.
The story of Graham coming into Hong Kong is really interesting because he had not got the times required to enter the Elite 15 when we were in Amsterdam. So he stood on the sidelines and watched. And you can imagine what that does to someone's motivation when they finally get their opportunity to get on that floor. And it's an athlete that we have seen race all of last season. So it's not like he's not used to this position. He's been at World Championships for a number of years. So to be on the sideline, frustrated and unable to do anything about it, I mean, you just know the moment they came out that start gate, he was going to be fighting for every inch he could get out on that track. Graham is obsessed.
Obsessed as well. But Graham, another unbelievable performance from that man. Graham, can we just talk about the fact you weren't in the Elite 15 in Amsterdam, and then you come here and you're like, you know what? Doesn't matter about jet lag, doesn't matter about the couple of weeks before. I'm here and I am taking a spot, and man, you did it.
I just tried my best out there. Like, I just realised, like, on the ski I seen a couple of guys pushing right hard, so I was like, I'll just scale back here, just run my own race, and I did that, and I just got the job done.
Was there a point in the race where you felt like, this is mine, like I can do this?
Pretty much. See, after the burpees, I kind of thought, I think I was in top 5. I was like, I can push a couple of spaces here. And then on the runs, I was managing to stay with Paleo, and usually that's quite tough. And then that's when I realised, I was like, I've got a really good chance here.
You know that regardless, if Graham is in the top 8 when you get to the wall ball station, he's going to be finishing top 5 or above. Unbroken wall balls with the men's 9 kg, and he's had it in his back pocket for years, and he can overtake up to 4 or 5 people just on the strength of that station alone. So yeah, I'm A, chuffed that he booked his ticket, and B, not surprised.
There we go. There we go. I know it. Season salty, my man.
Mate, I knew as soon as I was like 10 seconds behind Palaos, I was 4th, and I was like, I'm going to catch him on wall balls because I won't break. 3rd place, world spot secured, both statement made, I'm back, bitches! Finish, best feeling ever. When you get to that stage, you just think, this is it, I've done it, I've accomplished it, Hong Kong, done, done. What is legacy to me? It's a big deal because like you want to see like people that the younger generation like look at me. I don't even really want them to look at me, but look at something and go like, that's achievable. You know what I mean? Like you want to inspire people to do well rather than like it could be anybody, somebody off the street that's just been involved with bad stuff like that. That's what kind of motivates me when you see young people on the street and they shouldn't be there on the street. They could be in a gym training. That's why we run like kids classes and stuff like that here and like teenage classes, because we want to help people, like inspire people to show that you can do this. Because in a sense that's what I've done. I was never a bad person, right? But like with the areas we've stayed in I've stayed in in the past, like to now it's like you can do things with your life. You can build a better life. That's what I want to inspire people mostly by. Because in HYROX is a byproduct to that. I know. Well, I've got 20 minutes before I need to start session 2, so that'll be all, folks.